Welcome to Whiskey Ball.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex.
All right, we've got one distillery and a couple of options.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there's also a duplicate, so I'm gonna bastard both of them because, well, you'll see. So first, we got this bottle from two different people.
Okay.
But we're gonna bastard for this bottle specifically, David Robinson.
David Robinson, you wait, hold on. The 1990, late 90s Spurs basketball player, David Robinson?
Yeah, it's probably the same
Wow,
guy.
I like the rolled up socks. You remember the rolled
Oh, I forgot about rolled.
socks.
Wow, I totally did rolled socks. Wow.
David Robinson, you magnificent
Bastard.
I'd say
Now-
it was my favorite basketball player. They were in San Antonio as the closest basketball team. It was like David Robinson. Anyways.
Yeah, I definitely rolled my socks. Yeah. Okay, so we also got from the same distillery, so we're going to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
13-year-old bourbon
Yes.
from Robert and Kim Gremillion.
Michael Jordan, you magnificent. Robert and Kim Gremillion, you magnificent.
Bastards.
They sent two. They also sent this bottle.
Oh, nice.
But another bastard sent it too.
You benevolent bastards with things that are happening.
So this is the backup.
I got to see Michael Jordan play.
What? Really?
Yeah. They did a
Was it
game.
cool?
A game in San Antonio. I wasn't even mad that they rolled over my team.
Oh yeah,
Because
just like
it was
that makes sense.
It was very impressive. Yeah. I saw him a couple times. It was very good.
All right, so we're going to start with the normal. So this is basically one of the things that we're working on doing, which is blending sourced with your current product.
Okay.
So these guys are in.
It's a surprisingly small number of distilleries that are doing that. They're either
One or the other.
sourcing. Yeah, it's one or the other. Either sourcing or they're doing their own. And I love that idea. You basically find something you really like, a source as a base, and then you're using your own stuff as an accent, or vice versa. It's great.
Yeah. This is batch one. This is Cathead Distillery in Mississippi.
Okay.
90% MGP,
Okay.
10% their bourbon.
Yeah, I was supposed to say it smells familiar. It's toasted wheat bread. It's cherry. It's some graham cracker and honey.
Both the MGPs are 4 years old plus.
Yeah.
Their whiskey's 2 years old plus.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, probably small amount, but.
See that kind of a oaty wheat bread?
I'm also getting like a cornbread note, which is very
like a-
weird.
like a
a honey cornbread.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's the sweet cornbread, which isn't technically like
Like the little muffins.
Yeah.
Like the sweet cornbread.
that's not
Yeah.
real
No,
cornbread. but
cornbread isn't sugary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. I don't dislike the sugary stuff.
Love it.
It tastes good, but it's not.
It's more of the dessert
It's
version.
not true
You know what is
Southern
really
cornbread.
good in is red beans and rice. When you
Yeah.
get the sweet cornbread, because
Yeah,
it's, yeah.
You get the spicy red beans.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, little bits of sausage in there.
Yeah.
Dude, I grilled up some freaking amazing sausage on Father's Day. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'll tell you my secrets later. I have secrets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found a new really nice veggie dog.
I don't want your secrets. Keep those secrets to yourself. All right, I'm going in. You could have told me this was an MGP release, and it's so familiar and close to that I would just say any kind of slight difference would just be maybe some
Climate.
some barrel variation
Yeah.
or climate or something small.
Yeah.
You know, it's only 10%. It's like, wow.
What
you could have
here is
you could have
theirs?
told me it was 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Just, the slight,
Me too.
variation. Is I would attribute that to just the slight variations we get across a lot of these MGPs. But the good news is, whatever they did add to it didn't mess it up. It's still really
you didn't
nice.
ruin it.
No.
It does feel a little bit like
What was the proof?
45.
Okay.
Or, well, 90. But
Yeah.
45%.
I do that all the time, too.
Yeah. It has this thing where it sort of rounds and then flattens and then sort of stays a little bit light and thin, but it doesn't disappear. It just sort of lingers in a slightly thin layer.
And then, second sip, the oakiness becomes more prominent. I like it. No surprise. You've seen me like a lot of.
Yeah, it's a very
MGP
soft,
products.
drinkable. I feel like it
say
lacks a soft.
Okay.
It's soft. In the very, very beginning, when you first take a sip, there's a little bit of a swell that you think is going to become character, and then it just sort of gives way to this soft honey sweetness.
At 45%, it's leaving my tongue feeling kind of springy and effervescent.
Mine's
Usually,
not.
Is this your first whiskey of the day?
Yeah.
Mine too. Did you have any over the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably 4 days off of whiskey right now.
If I do the switch around and aggressive, I get a little bit more bitey.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Okay, I want to switch because they also released this, and this is not a comparison.
Okay.
It's another sourced whiskey.
I think this is nice at the proof that it's at. Because, granted...
Very drinkable.
It's very drinkable. Yeah, I can see why, if I had had several sips into this, it would be, more soft than it is than the first whiskey I've had in a few days. But even at that, mid-40s ABV, it still has the flavors there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so watered down that you're missing things that I would typically expect to find in MGP.
So Cathead is doing a similar thing to us, and not similar, but they're not just doing their own stuff, but they're finding interesting things.
Yeah.
And this is a part of a release they're calling limited releases. It's 2021. It's a 13-year-old bourbon, but it's from Kentucky.
Are they featuring the distillery?
No.
Oh.
That's the one miss,
Yeah.
right? They tell us everything that they can about it,
Yeah.
but they're not featuring the distillery.
So basically, I've learned this a few times. I just never bothered to remember. Independent bottling, right? Does independent bottling require that you actually feature the distiller?
There are no laws.
Okay.
We are trying to establish the rules around independent bottling.
Yeah. Because I think
There's a small cohort of independent bottlers in the U.S.
Yeah.
We're all trying to establish this is what we think it is.
Because if you're not featuring the distillery name and the source, then it's just sourcing.
yeah, it's just white labeling.
Then independent bottling is no different than sourcing.
Yeah, and they
I think
are
there should be a
legally
difference.
disclosing it was distilled in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But that's just a legal requirement.
I think the way they've been doing it in Scotland with SMWS and
Alexander Murray.
Yeah. That
Duncan
seems
Taylor,
to be a really
signatory.
good kind of a example of independent bottling.
If you want to see what I personally think qualifies as independent bottling, go to AmericanIndy.com. AmericanIndy.com.
Yeah.
I wrote all of the copy for that website.
This is a Kentucky honey. If there was like a note that I would say is classic Kentucky,
It's the honey that verges on molasses or maple. Not maple, molasses. It's so dense and rich. It's not this light effervescent wildflower honey. It's this dark, heavy.
mixed in with that oakiness. Yeah, that's the classic Kentucky note.
I'm also getting a little bit of a vegetation note.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's musty. It's not green cut grass. It's this sort of like musty, not mushroom, but like damp earth.
See, I started getting more stuff in the sweeter direction.
Yeah,
like more of the vanillas.
Yeah, I'm still getting that too. But my first sip, my nose said, vegetation,
Yeah, I like that.
earth.
There's almost like a cake, like a vanilla cake, maybe some icing.
It's very nice nose.
Yeah. It's a sweet nose. That's super Kentucky.
Yeah, and it's very classic.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Not a ton to say about it, just a really good whiskey.
Yeah, I will say all the things that we were expecting from the nose, they show up on the taste.
Right.
It's not like, wow, this is totally different. Nope. It tracks very, very cleanly with what you get on that nose there.
74 corn, 18 rye, 8% malted barley.
And what was the proof on that? You said it's 49. Wow, this is actually 49.5.
Yeah, a little higher.
Almost 100 proof.
These
This
guys
comes across as softer than this to me, even though it's a higher proof. Yeah.
hang on.
It gets a little more thin on the tail end. The flavors are nice. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's watered down.
So I think it's more oily,
This one?
and I think that's leading to this texture that this one lacks. That makes it feel like it's going down smoother.
Yeah.
But I still get more bite behind that, more tannin and more.
In the AB, you go back to this and you start to find cinnamon.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Cinnamon and a tea. Those are both good.
The dudes who founded this distillery are both guys with two first names.
Kyle?
Austin Evans and Richard Patrick.
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting. I read their names. I was like, you got 4 first names.
I hope that is the most boring thing I hear today. We set the bar. We set the bar. That needs to be the most boring thing I hear today. It's nothing but
It's 2 first names.
it's nothing but upside from here on out. It's so boring that it actually becomes kind of funny.
Yeah. It's like the jokes that are so bad They become funny because they're so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm entertained.
what are the,
I'm entertained by the dryness, boringness.
like Papa Kangaroo? Where are our children, dear? Mama Kangaroo. Goodness, my pocket's been picked.
Can you imagine? Right? So you get your whiskey, it's on a show, like there's a bunch of people watching. It's, oh wow, what are they going to say about the whiskey? Oh, it's pretty good, not bad. Did you know
As a matter of fact,
that their names?
2 first names.
That's a nice whiskey. SCT. Good morning, M.B.s. Let's all remember that if you combined Daniel and Rex, you'd get one relatively normal-sized guy with a very regular amount of hair and a fairly standard taste.
That's totally true, right?
See? Going up from here. You set the really low threshold of boringness, and now that's good. Logan Pedogel? For your whiskey marketing course, do you have more waiters, bartenders, on-premise owners, buyers, or distributors, or distillery hopefuls? I'm interested in the demographics of the SOM course.
Let me see that list. So, because I put that in there because it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, we do get bartenders.
Yeah.
A lot. Owners. A lot of owners of distilleries, bars, and things like that.
Yeah.
We have not yet had a single distributor that I know of.
So,
No middlemen.
I have known a few distributors. Even actually well before I got into whiskey. One of my best friends' father-in-law, I don't know if he's still the CEO, but he's like, basically running the biggest beverage distribution company in the state of Texas. And surprisingly, the handful that I've met, they're not really nerds when it comes to product.
No, they often don't even know what product they're moving.
Yeah, they're
It's
basically
just a spreadsheet and a list and a book.
They're numbers people. It's logistics and numbers.
Yeah.
So
So what I would say is we're mostly populated by people who are directly in contact with the consumer.
yeah,
But we're very rarely involved in the people who are multiple layers removed from the
which is
consumer.
absolutely not a distributor. Between the two, what would you reach for?
I mean, definitely the 13.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep finding things that I like in this, and it's a harder decision than I think it should be, just based on the specs. All right, any more comments to make up for your 2 first names?
What did the
Here's to
snail
find
say?
stealing and drinking.
If you fight me, you fight for a
You
friend.
steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.